Philip Siegel of Havana Phil Cigar Company.
And I'm Shayna Lee, the social media manager here and owner of Shayna Lee Photography.
Welcome to Behind the Smoke Screens, where we give you a raw and unfiltered look at what it's like to run a business as two young entrepreneurs.
In our line of work, we have the pleasure of creating relationships with a variety of characters. Influencers, athletes, models, digital media gurus, CEOs, and industry experts. And we'll be inviting them on to share with you.
Sit back, grab a sip and a smoke as we take you behind the smoke screens. All right. Welcome to Behind the Smoke Screens, episode 7. Yeah. We have a special guest today, our own amazing employee, Ashley Smokin. Check her out on Instagram. But yeah, let's get after it.
How is it? At Ashley Smokin?
It's at Ashley Smokin. Yeah.
Okay. So at Ashley Smokin.
No G.
SMOKIN.
Is there an apostrophe?
Yeah. No apostrophe. There's no grammar.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
It's confusing if you put an apostrophe.
Right.
I don't even know if you can do that on Instagram, can you?
I don't think so.
Who knows?
So, shout out Instagram, Ashley Smokin. We also have at Havana Phil's, at Shayna Lee Photo. Hey, wait a minute, Troy. You're ruining my time here. At Shayna Lee Photo and at Behind the Smoke Screens, which we don't shout out enough on our podcast.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to say that.
Yeah.
Give us a follow on there, of course, on our YouTube channel. Some people listen on Apple Podcast and some people like to watch on YouTube. So we have our video out for everybody on YouTube. And people can listen in their audio on the cars or whatever too. So,
Yeah.
But
Everyone will want to watch this.
Yeah, for sure, because it's Ashley
And Shayna.
and Phil.
And Phil.
Yeah.
So Ashley, you have a lot of Instagram followers.
Yeah.
You're building.
I'm building.
You're following.
I'm getting there for sure.
But it seems like it jumped pretty quickly because I feel like just a couple months ago it was like. I don't know, I felt like it was like around 2,000 or something, and now you've jumped like a couple thousand in just the past month or two.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Tell us about that a little bit. Like, what are you doing on social media? Where's the following you think coming from? And like, talk a little bit about that for us.
So, pretty much, I'm still fairly new to the cigar industry. So a few months ago, I decided, I was hyped up by my friends who told me, start posting, people are interested. And I was hesitant at first because it's like you're documenting your whole life online. And so you're opening yourself to criticism, and then there's a part of me that thought, what if you fail and you just embarrass yourself in front of the whole internet? But I bit the bullet and started doing it, and immediately it took off. I think I went from like 800 followers to like 3,000 within a month.
Sure.
And then it really like plateaued right there up until, a couple days ago, and it shot up again like another few hundred. But pretty much I'm just posting what I'm doing, which is so different for me because before I did this, I really didn't post that much on Instagram anyway.
So when you say what you're doing, though, you mean like, because you're posting shots of you smoking cigars, you're talking about the cigars. Yeah. And you really got into that because you're working at a cigar bar and bartending here. And so you were already doing that anyway, so you thought, I'm going to take pictures and post it. Yeah. And so people love that because it's a beautiful woman talking about cigars. And do you feel like in the past couple months you've really gotten to like a really full range experience with different types of cigars because you're having to talk about different ones? And
I think I'm getting there. There's still a lot that I don't know.
Yeah.
But being here at Havana Phil's, I'm learning a lot too. So, I've had doors open to me. I'm getting sponsorships and all that, so that's also helping me expand. I'm getting sent cigars that I never would try otherwise. I still definitely have a long way to go. I know that much. But I think being here in this environment has definitely helped me a lot.
And it's been really cool to see because, you know, I speak to a lot of the manufacturers in the industry, and they'll be like, you know, who is Ashley smoking? Like, it looks like she works there, but we're not sure. And they'll be like, well, she is like one of the best influencers in the cigar industry because she's real. She doesn't have these Photoshop photos, and she actually knows what she's talking about. So that's really, really cool to see, and it's just like awesome to see a natural growth, even though, like you said, you're plateauing. Like, that's not really a plateau. It's been like 3 months, you know? Like, like you're fucking smashing it, and that's amazing. So like with that comes engagement, and you get a ton of engagement, which is, you know, creates sponsorships, it creates free stuff that people send you, but it also creates headaches, as far as like nasty comments, DMs, like stuff like that. So like what is that like, and how do you deal with that? And does, like, I feel like if I got hundreds of DMs, like that would like overwhelm me and almost affect me emotionally. Like, how do you deal with that sort of thing?
I ignore it. Pretty much. I get some super ludicrous comments and messages, and at the end of the day, for every like 5 disgusting people I encounter on Instagram, I have hundreds who are just sending me positive thoughts and you know, congratulating me and giving me good criticisms. So at the end of the day, it's so easy to block someone on Instagram, and that's just what I do. I can't, you know, if I have 5,000 followers, I can't let every single random person dictate how I feel for the day.
Right.
It's just easy to block it and move on.
Yeah.
So what would you say, because there's the positive comments are great, even in DM, like just people showing their support and that kind of thing. What would you want to tell people, like, just don't do this, like, this is what not to do?
Tell the people.
When it's because this is an opportunity, this is a platform, this is behind the smoke screen. So we're talking about, what does it look like behind the influencer field? Because you're kind of just getting started in the influencer environment. And influencers, if people are watching that don't know what that is, because there are a lot of people that don't know what that is. It's basically a person who is able to promote a product online through social media that in turn will, for example, if that person points their audience to a product where they can buy it, and they can use oftentimes a code to buy that you got as an influencer to give out to your audience, and then you can oftentimes make a profit from the purchases that your audience are making. Right. And so then you, over time, as you build, and especially if you see a lot of influencers will get way up into like 200,000+ followers, and they're selling clothing or makeup or home goods or whatever it is, in your case cigars, and they're starting to make a profit off of this where they can eventually run it as a full-time business for themselves. And so when people talk about influencers, that's what they're talking about, are people that are influencing the marketplace in whatever product or good or service that they're promoting. So as an influencer, or as someone that's kind of going in the direction of an influencer, what would you want to tell people that are following accounts like yours that maybe are overstepping or just sort of behind the screens of it? What would you want people to know about what you're doing?
I think most importantly, if you wouldn't say it to your mother or your daughter, or you wouldn't mind by saying it to your mother or your daughter, don't say it to someone on the internet. I think that's really important. At the end of the day, I think it's so easy for people to get really bold behind their screens and send stuff that they would never in a million years say to your face. If you wouldn't say it to somebody's face, don't say it online. You know, but I'm fortunate in the sense that I don't really get that often. And when I do, it's usually, I mean, you can't really do anything but laugh it off. That's really the only issue I've had so far. I'll get people who get upset if I don't respond to them, but you know, I'm only human. I have 24 hours in a day just like everybody else, and I work a decent amount, so I can't message back every single, like, thousands and thousands of people that message me, you know, in a week. Influencers are people too. You just gotta, if you like the content, keep following. If you don't, unfollow. There's no need for harassment. Yeah, I guess that's
truth bomb.
That's about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think people do certainly hide behind that, those like Instagram handles. You can tell sometimes because they won't have very many followers, and they probably do it to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're private.
Yeah.
No pictures.
So you can't like talk shit back to them or anything.
What's the wildest thing that somebody has said? I got a comment one time. Actually, it was like I think it was two different people, and it was like, it was asking me if I needed a sugar daddy or something, and I was like, what? Like, some people, I guess,
probably one
write
of
on
Ashley's
this.
followers.
I'm like, first of all, I work for myself.
Right.
But yeah, I do need a sugar daddy.
It'd be nice.
I'm just kidding.
Hit the DMs, boys.
No, please don't. Please don't. But yeah, what's like some of the give us the inside scoop on
I don't
what's
think
some of
I
the
can
weird
even
stuff.
say it.
It's
It's bad.
like really sexual.
It's really sexual.
You can-
That's all it is.
You can
too.
say it, but don't say it if you don't want to.
It's
Yeah.
just like anything you can think of, people have said it at that point.
Never mind.
And like sometimes I'll
Oh.
screenshot it and send them to my friends and we'll laugh about it. But what were you gonna say?
So
just because she's got her boobies on there. Just because she's a
Covered,
beautiful woman.
somewhat.
Yes, they're not
Somewhat.
even. It's not even. It's very like tastefully done.
Yeah.
And just because she's a beautiful woman doesn't mean she wants a dick pic. It doesn't mean she wants. I mean, let's be honest. That's
How
like
many-
the kind of stuff.
hold up. How many dick pics have you got?
On Instagram,
Yeah.
I don't even know. I have my messages set up to where I don't receive pictures from people I don't follow.
Oh,
thank God.
I didn't even know
So-
that was a thing because
Women
Oh my
do
God.
not want those.
I
We
never
do not
want it.
want those.
Never want
If we
it.
wanted it, we would ask for it.
Exactly.
We do
Preach.
not want that. No.
so
This is a no. This is a big
I've
no.
never once thought, you know what I would really like right now? A picture of some guy's dick.
Like somebody
You know.
random that I don't know.
Right.
Like,
right.
That would really like
where does this come
hit
from?
the spot. I would love that.
So not only are you an influencer, but you also work at Havana Phil's. You're an amazing bartender. You're great with our members. Does that ever entangle? Does it ever get caught up? Do you ever get weird messages from customers or people who are local, and then you'll see them, and then you have to be really nice because you work here?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There have been
that's
a
a good
couple
question.
times where people who I've never talked to or seen before have come in here, and I introduce myself, and they say, "Yeah, I follow you on Instagram. That's why I came here." And it's kind of whether, you know, I'm sure they don't have any ill will in that sense. It's just kind of weird to me that people I've never met, came across, talked to, know who I am.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's almost scary in the sense that I'm putting myself out there so people know where I work. And, you know, they know where I'm at these hours of the day. And luckily, everyone that I've met who has, you know, seen me on Instagram has been very nice, very
Yeah.
respectful.
But were they weird in messages, or did
I've-
you just not even know them at all before?
There have been a couple people who had come in here who left, like I interacted with them, they left. And then, you know, I'd go home and get on Instagram and I'd see creepy messages from them after the fact. But it was never beforehand.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know if it's me interacting with them face to face opened up a door for them in their brain to send me something weird.
Interesting.
That could be it. Like they got comfortable with me and thought,
Yeah.
you know, she would really enjoy this weird ass message.
Yeah. We should have a psychologist on here to interpret what goes on behind the brain of a male after he meets a woman. That'd be cool.
This is a really interesting thing, though, in like the position of being a woman in our society. We oftentimes can be in a position, especially if you're in a place of business, where you have to be very careful with your choice of words with your clientele, because you don't want people to think that you're being rude or mean, which can sometimes come off that way if you're just
setting
blunt
boundaries
with people and setting boundaries. Yes, exactly. If you're setting boundaries and they don't see it, they see it as rejection, or maybe whatever it is that they're getting from the experience is different than what you're trying to express. It's just this is a boundary that I'm setting, or this is where I'm comfortable, and people need to respect that place.
Right.
And so we walk as women, we walk this very fine line with men, where we want to make sure that they're comfortable, but we also have to make ourselves comfortable and feel safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that, because I know, just generally speaking, as a bartender, I know you run into that.
Yeah. So even on the opposite end of the spectrum, a lot of people can misinterpret you being nice as flirting, you know? So, and at the end of the day, being a bartender, you're supposed to be generally a nice person to your customers.
Just because we're nice doesn't mean we want to.
No, we just want the tips.
I
the
saw
tip
a
money.
meme. I saw a meme that said that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I promise you, your bartender never wants to go home with you. Like, probably 99% of the time, we're just doing our job.
Yeah, and they want you to have a good experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So it definitely is important to set the boundaries. I struggle with that myself, just because it's new territory. Like I said, I'm opening up to thousands of people on the internet. You're going to get those people who are going to push the boundaries, especially people, like I said, once people meet you face to face, that opens a new relationship, I guess. And they feel like they can get away with more, which isn't necessarily true. Well, that's not true at all. And it's just even not in the sense of being an influencer. It's just, as like you said, as a woman, every day, you know, you're susceptible to being treated a certain way. And it's really important to, you know, ensure your safety. That's something I'm still trying to balance as well. I took I've had to change my Instagram name, because when it was my personal account, I had my middle name on there. I had pictures of my family on there. And I was more apt to sharing my location. Now that's something I can't really do. I'll post about Havana Phil's just because it's a safe place, or I feel safe here with the staff and the members, and you know, it's a secure location. But other than that, it's just, you have to think twice before you post.
Right.
This is just like, it's such a sad situation, though, if you really think about it, like that a woman has to, that women feel that way.
Well, it's not necessarily a sad situation.
No, it's not a sad situation, but
it's just more that
it's
sad
the way
that
of the world.
That you have to think about that all the time, and that you have that burden every day. But a big question I have for you is, you know, like, you're getting all these sponsorships from, you know, cool companies like the Cigar Medic and the Humi Pack guys, Humi Fresh, whatever. Humi Smart. But like, the big manufacturers that I talk to are talking about you. So it's like, what is your end game? Like, what do you want to do? What's your goal with this platform that you have, this public figure that you're creating? Like, what is it? Like, and how do you plan on expanding it? I know you created a YouTube channel, which is really cool. How's that going? I guess that's a two-part question.
So my end goal, I don't really have anything specific. One thing I would really like for myself to be able to do is open the industry more towards women. Just because, you know, working at the lounge, you see there's such a gap between, you know, it's a male-dominated industry, of course. I'd like to see more women partake in it, because it's the community is so open.
Right.
but I think there's something that is hindering women from getting into it, more women from getting into it. So I'd really like to bridge that gap.
Do you think that's why men are really interested in following you, because it's more of a rarity, and it's like, I was in here one day talking to a rep that came in, and he was saying that it's like women, and we were agreeing that it's a woman walking into like a man's world, and being able to carry herself in that world and talk and like sit and have that.
Shout out Javi from Placencia.
Yes, shout out. That was a really great discussion with him. Actually, we covered a lot that day, and it was really interesting. But yeah, do you think that that's part of why so many people are drawn to your account?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, it's a sea of men, and then you sprinkle in a few women, and you know,
it's like, oh,
I hate to say it, sex sells, and
it does.
It's just, it's a rarity, like you said, for, you know, women to, one, be in the industry or be involved in the industry, and two, to advertise it online. Which I don't think it should be that way. It shouldn't be that way for anything. I think, like you said, it's a woman walking into a man's world. It can be intimidating. I was so intimidated when I first, like, the first time I ever smoked a cigar, I went to a class, a cigar rolling class, and, you know, there were a couple women there, and I was so nervous. I don't know why. I can't put it into words. It was like I was scared of, one, everybody's watching you because you're the outlier in the group. And it's like, what if I make a fool of myself? What if I mess it up somehow?
Because they're all expecting me to mess up anyway.
Right. And they're just waiting for that moment.
I mess up a lot, so.
Me too.
Take it from me. Like, it's totally fine. Fell and fell again.
But it's like they're sitting there and they're waiting for it. And, you know, that's how it is with a lot of things. When women cross over into male-dominant industries or hobbies or whatever you want to call it. So that's still, I still get tripped up sometimes. I get interrogated. Not a lot. You know, if I'm out at a bar smoking a cigar, that's when I get interrogated by men who don't know what the hell they're talking about anyway. I'll never forget, there was one time I was sitting at a bar smoking a cigar in Winston, and I can't remember what I was smoking, but this guy came up to me and he said, "That's a Dominican cigar." And I said, "Actually, no, it's Nicaraguan." He said, No, trust me, I know." And I said, No, trust me, I know. And he was like, "You know, you'll learn. You'll learn one day."
You're going to learn.
And I just, you know, whatever, you have to brush it off. But it's so intimidating, and for no reason.
Frustrating.
Because the people who are actually involved in the community are so open, and there's something to learn all the time, and they're willing to educate you too.
But even we get that, you know, when we work in the retail, people will come to us and just tell us all these facts, like we don't know anything, but it's like they're completely wrong.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, if you're in the wine game, the bourbon industry, any sort of specific, you know, like really intricate handmade product, you're gonna get those people who are just snobs, you know, and super technical, and it's just like, dude, I'm just trying to relax and have a cigar, or like I'm just trying to make this experience for you, you know, like, and it just comes down to, you know, like you said, brushing it off and having the courage to like keep going, you know, and to see you doing this in the cigar industry, it's really, really fucking cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Just kind of taking like a little bit of like courage to step out into like what could potentially be a really uncomfortable space for a lot of people, and saying we all have to start somewhere. I mean, everybody starts somewhere. I mean, every man that's ever smoked a cigar started in the same place you started. Most of them, you know. So, or maybe not. I mean, probably many people probably never took a class.
Yeah.
Like that's a really interesting place to start. Actually,
it was rare.
Yeah, that's not actually where most people start at all.
It was a really cool class, but you know, just as soon as I got comfortable posting on Instagram, I decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel. And that's a whole different monster because I'm actually speaking on camera. What if I mess up and say something completely wrong, and then let's say I post it, I'm caught vocally or verbally being wrong.
Okay, so this is
No
interesting.
one would notice that.
Because there are podcasts that will do like correct. I know I love the My Favorite Murder podcast. And it's like true crime. We were talking about true crime.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't watch true crime. I actually used to work for a true crime television program.
We
called
talked about
Snap.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
on
wives
Oxygen
killing their
Network.
husbands and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a really hard thing to work for, and just because the topic is not something that you want to like put in your mind all the time. So I have a hard time watching true crime, but for some reason that My Favorite Murder podcast is like, I just keep listening to it, and I'm like, oh, this is so also depressing, but also I can't stop listening to it. But they have like a corrections corner. Anyway, my point is, I said something wrong the other day.
Get to the point.
Yes, I'm getting to it. I'm getting there. I said something wrong on the Max podcast, and I have to correct it right now because I have this opportunity.
Correction podcast starting now.
From Max's podcast. I was talking about a TikToker who I said it was Jamie Foxx, and I said he was like, oh, I'm about to do a TikTok. I'm about to do it today. Remember when I talked about that? And I was like, I think it's Jamie Foxx. Totally was not Jamie Foxx. Anybody that heard that and knew what I was talking about was probably like, oh, it's Kevin Hart. It's Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
it was
I
Kevin
had
Hart.
a bunch of customers come in and tell me about how you fucked
No,
that up.
you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Shut up. Anyway, so because like, oh, and speaking of TikTok, we just started a TikTok, so that's something to shout out as well. So we have a Havana Phil's TikTok, and we're gonna be like Kevin Hart, like about to do a TikTok.
And it's funny because all three of us have access to it.
Yeah. So Ashley will be making some little TikTok videos, and
And I will, and
I still have to learn how to TikTok.
I'll teach you.
I'm the designated old man in my friend group. I don't understand TikTok. Like, I know how to watch it.
There's a learning curve.
It's really easy.
Yeah.
You just do this.
And actually, you can they're like workarounds. You can just like make a video off of it and then post it. But like the fun TikToks, like the creative ones, there's a lot of fun stuff we could do on there.
We did one the other day. We did like a step-by-step how to make our old fashioned.
Oh, nice.
It was cool. If you haven't watched it, you should, Shayna.
I know. Well, this is brand new. Look, I might be the social media manager, but yeah, I need to like get access to it and everything. But and I'm not here all the time, so I can't make them all the time. But certainly when I'm here, I'll definitely be making them too because I like TikTok.
Yeah.
Especially now that it's no longer owned by China, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought they were actually going to delete it altogether.
Well,
like
I'm pretty sure they sold the distribution rights to some U.S. company that didn't make any sense, but they bought it anyways because they'll probably make a ton of money off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my correction. I had to mention that because it's been bothering me. Like, and I'm sure I've probably messed up on many things that I've said, but that one like really bothered me.
Well, the last episode you read an amazing quote and did an amazing job, so props to you.
And I said valiantly wrong, I think, but it's okay. I mean,
Correction podcast here.
Valiantly.
So, your YouTube game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? Like, what's the plan?
I think just posting cigar reviews. Pretty much the same gist that's on my Instagram, except transforming that into a video format.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really slacking on that just because I get tripped up on what do I talk about and who wants to listen to me talk for 20 minutes.
Right.
And it's weird that people actually do want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to get over the fact of nobody would want to listen to this. This is so boring to me, but
It could be short videos too.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is you got to start somewhere. And so the first, like, you'll make some videos and you'll be like, oh, I don't know if people like this or it's not good or whatever. And then a year from now, you're going to look back and be like, that was pretty terrible. But look where I am now. It's more about the growth and that climb and like adjusting where you need to adjust and making the lighting better or making the location better or talking about something in a different way or like bringing somebody on and having like a friend that you can chat with so it makes the smooth conversation easier. It's really just about growth and having the courage to jump in and dive into something that might not be that comfortable, because a lot of people don't want to get in front of a camera.
Yeah.
They're too caught up in what they look like or what they sound like. Like Phil and I, we didn't want to listen to ourselves on podcast when we first started. We were like, I don't want to hear what I sound like.
Oh my God, I don't want to hear this. When it's all said and done.
Yeah, we're on
I
our
just
own
have to
worst
suck
critic.
it up.
Yeah.
I just have to suck it up and do it.
And just keep doing it.
There's an audience there, and I have the most amazing followers. They're so encouraging. Like I said, for any hate comment I get or disgusting message, I have so many, like hundreds of people complimenting me and, you know,
That's
giving
awesome.
me amazing
props to you
critiques.
guys.
Yeah, you have an army.
I do have an
You do
army.
have, okay,
One day.
here's
Oh
the
my
army.
gosh, they're crazy.
Let's talk about the army for a minute, because we made a post with Ashley in it, and she posted on her Instagram. Go and comment on the Havana Phil's Instagram post, green heart.
Oh my
so
God.
I was like, all of a sudden we were getting all these green hearts on her page. I was like, what the hell is going on Ashley's post? I was like, what
They
is
spammed
this?
us.
Yes, I
It
was
was
like, I'm
amazing.
missing
There was
something
so
I don't
many.
understand. And then I went to Ashley's page, and I was like, oh, in her stories, Instagram stories, she's like, go post a green heart on Havana Phil's, and there's probably like 50 of them or more or something. I was like, this is crazy, but that's awesome to have people that love you so much and that like encourage you and support you so much that they will actually go and like support you in that way. That's a really beautiful thing to have. So as many of the crazies that are out there, I think there's probably tenfold more people that are supportive.
I have the most amazing followers, and it was so random to me because I felt like my following kind of plateaued. I was sitting at the same amount of followers for a couple weeks, and so I just went on a whim. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it would get the response it did. And so, you know, I put down my story, I put my phone down. 20 minutes later, I check it, and I have like 50, like, so-and-so commented on a photo of you or whatever it was. And I start scrolling, and there are all these green hearts. It was so insane. I would have never thought.
It was funny. I texted Phil. I was like, Phil, what's going on this post?
Yeah.
Whatever. He was
And
like,
I was just like, check Ashley's story.
That was so insane.
That was funny.
The
That
power
was
of
awesome.
Ashley.
Yeah.
So you have this passion for cigars. It's another two-part question. I'm sorry.
Can we just stick to one part there, Phil?
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
All right. What's your
kidding.
favorite cigar right now?
We can handle
My
it.
favorite one right now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. The Florida Sun-Grown. That's always
I
a
could have guessed
classic.
that. Yeah.
Always burns super well. Good flavor. I love it.
Yeah.
Everyone I can smoke that 100 times, and it's been perfect every time.
Yeah, that's a nice full body smoke, blended by Jeff Borschwitz. Shout out. Good dude down in Orlando. He has his own tobacco farm.
Nice.
Yeah, so really nice. The next question: would you ever want to work in the cigar industry, like aside from like a local shop? Like, would you want to do like like a brand ambassador, or like work in like a corporate office, like say for Davidoff, or like, you know, go be a sales rep for some company, you know?
So I've actually been offered a couple jobs in that sense.
Wow, that's cool.
I just got offered one maybe yesterday to be a sales rep for a smaller brand. I don't know. At the moment, no, not really. But who's to say, you know, a year from now, maybe I would. I kind of like having my own freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really tied to a brand or anything. So I get to post about whatever I want, whatever brand I want.
The cool thing about that would be like the travel involved.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to travel like that. And
but you think it's hard to be an influencer on a computer?
Yeah.
You try and go be an influencer for a brand face to face, like that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
You know?
And that would be something I would have to get a little bit more seasoned with before I even thought about doing that. Because right now I'm still a novice, I think. Or maybe not a novice. I'm intermediate, I'd say. And I know if I were to go on with a brand, I would learn, I would get the education I need.
It would also have to be a brand that you really love, because if you're selling a product, you want to be able to sell something authentically that you really are passionate about.
Exactly. I don't feel comfortable ever pushing, like a product or a brand that I don't actually like myself.
How do you handle that when people send you stuff, or they want to sponsor you, or they want you to promote their product, but you're like, oh, I've never had this, or I don't even like this, or whatever?
I tell them to send me the product if I haven't had it.
Yeah.
And there's really never a formal agreement on whether I'll post or not. It's kind of them sending it in good faith. You believe in your product this much, send it to me. If I agree with you, I will post about it. I will tag you, all that, or I'll give you feedback on that. But luckily, I haven't really been sent anything that I wasn't crazy about. So I haven't really crossed that bridge yet. Nobody sent me anything like a cigar, and I thought, this is so disgusting.
Have you been able to monetize anything yet? Like code things down and sell products?
I haven't, no, not financially. I've gotten product. That's about it.
So free stuff.
It's
Which is a big thing in the influencer market.
Yeah.
Free
It's
stuff.
a hard thing about the cigar industry is because it's not a huge cash industry.
Right.
Like the CBD market or the liquor companies or something like that. The cigar industry is more tied up in product rather than cash.
Which is fine by me. Send me all the free stuff. I'm actually working towards...
And if you want to send her free shit, you can send it here and we'll gladly give it to her. I only take 1 cigar per package.
Yeah.
And also, we could take photos of it, and then, you could... We are actually looking for some sponsors to the podcast here, so
Hit us up.
that are
That'd be
watching,
great.
we want some. We would love to be able to sponsor the podcast. Each episode have a different sponsor, and we can talk about that. So if you're interested, email us at behindthesmokescreens@gmail.com.
Gmizzle.kizzle.
We'd love to talk more about that. Just a little quick. Get that in there
Little
while we're
promo.
talking about it.
Little
That's cool though that you get you get the free stuff and
Yeah.
everything. But I mean, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to want to monetize some of that and figure out a way to do that, because people will want your audience. They'll want to pay you in some form or fashion, and be able to reach your people.
Right.
So.
Just charge per post.
That's something, also, I've never been an influencer. I don't even want to say I'm an influencer. I've never posted products before.
You are an influencer.
That's
Just
so,
admit it.
It's so...
You are.
In that world, yeah.
I
for
guess.
Sure.
It feels so wrong to say that, but I'm
You'll be able to
working-
monetize it more on YouTube too, because you'll put ads. You'll be able to do some ads and stuff eventually.
Yeah. But YouTube hates tobacco.
True.
They, Instagram even hates tobacco.
Yeah, they definitely shadow ban us. They shadow ban our posts, I think.
What,
Our
Havana
Facebook,
Phil's?
our
Oh.
Facebook stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we promote our YouTube videos on even our personal stuff.
Yeah,
they'll-
we get very few likes and stuff. Yeah.
They'll push it down.
I think I got shadow banned on Instagram, so I got a notification saying your account is under review for deletion per not following guidelines, and it highlighted tobacco use. Don't promote tobacco use, which I kind of don't get. It's you can promote,
Are you a business account?
Yeah,
Interesting.
but that's I have to be a business account to
Yeah.
keep track of, some of my promos or my sponsors. They want me to send them screenshots of my
Insights.
yeah, just to make sure it's still worth their time to promote me or sponsor me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, last question. Do you have one?
What else do you want people to know about your page, or do you want to shout out your YouTube channel? Tell us what that is. Give yourself a little, let's take a minute to give you a little promotion on your channels and encourage people to follow you. We definitely want everybody that's listening to follow Ashley Smokin on Instagram at Ashley ASHLEYSMOKIN.
Yes.
Flawless. That was a good
That was
read.
perfect.
Hey. I can spell. And YouTube. You probably don't have a specific. What's the name of it?
I don't even know my YouTube name.
Yeah, because they just give you all these letters and numbers, but
yeah.
how can somebody look you up on there? I guess they can go to your Instagram.
I have it linked in my Instagram bio.
Click the link in the bio.
Yes,
yeah, link in bio.
So what's one thing that you want your army of Ashley Smokin smokers to know about you?
I really don't know.
And what do you want them to do? Share your page.
Share my
tell
page.
Tell their friends. Yeah.
I would love to hit. I think I'm right at almost 5,000. I think once I hit 5,000, I think that's usually when things take off. So just, some people get so frustrated with me because I'll go a week without posting. And it's kind of, just keep in mind that I have stuff to do too.
She has a life.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's just me documenting my journey as I learn and grow in the industry. Like I said, my followers are great. I'm very thankful. They're so understanding. People send me recommendations and all that. It's a great learning experience that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for Philip bringing me on at Havana Phil's.
Oh,
it was
really cool.
It was funny the way it worked out, I guess. COVID. I got laid off and then I got offered a job, so
nice.
It worked out, and I think
it
was meant to be, I think, because that was right when I was starting to post about cigars as well. And this kind of, I think being in this actual business at Havana Phil's has really helped me out a lot. I've got to meet so many great people and learn so much and try new products and all that.
Beautiful. Well, we greatly appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you back for sure.
It feels weird to say that because we see you all the time.
Right.
We're like all
Yeah,
like
she
we
literally
work together.
she
so.
bartends every night
Yeah.
we do our podcast.
And
so.
I take a lot of pictures of Ashley, so
I know.
we have to like close this out, but then we're gonna probably sit here and chat for a minute. So
Goodbye to you guys.
Yeah, bye guys. behind the smoke screen.
See you later, haters.
Yes. Well, thanks to everyone that's been listening, and
We'll catch you next week.
behind the smoke screens.
Behind the smoke screen.
Thanks, Ashley.